Hello, Americans and veterans and people that are being targeted and tortured by the government, satellite weapons. Making this video because this is a mark of that I've actually about to finish my petition to submit to the U.S. Supreme Court. The 15th, the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals has to get done a mandate, and from the mandate, the Supreme Court, U.S. Supreme Court of Appeals takes a case. As you can see already, I have finished this document here. You can see it's got the title here. It's a pretty big brief. Anyway, I finished it tonight, and it's on its way to cocklelegalbriefs.com. They're going to prepare my brief for the Supreme Court. I hired them, and so as soon as they're done, I will submit that to the U.S. Supreme Court. They want 40 booklets to the Supreme Court, and like I said, I'm already done here. This is a lot of paperwork here, folks. I finished my brief just a while ago, and I'm healthy, I'm strong. My blood pressure the day before yesterday was it was about 115 over 75, 97.3 temperature. I mean, I'm feeling healthy and strong. It's just a matter of fact that I'm being targeted by the FBI because they don't want this case to go to court, because what it's asking a judge is to hear the case about being targeted and tortured and stalked by satellite weapons. We know it's there. I'm giving the Supreme Court substantive evidence to investigate, because the lower courts have not let me speak my mind in a trial court, or they have not let me present my case. I'm asking the Supreme Court to understand that if you could read my mind and I'm broadcasting my thoughts, there is a crime. You cannot ignore the fact that we're being tortured. That's already documented in the petition. And what I'm going to do is with this petition, I'm going to publish this petition that I'm writing to the Supreme Court at Barnes and Nobles or Amazon. You'll be able to get a copy for maybe $1.50, $2, and you can read my argument to the Supreme Court, which, as you all know, very popular. I mean, there's about 8 justices up there, and so we're just asking them to review the case and decide on it, because it's happening. If you are reading my mind, you understand what I'm doing, there's a problem. And we're being tortured because of, like I told you, www.targetedjustice.com, Dr. Robert Duncan, the ex-CIA, Dr. John Hall, Karen Milton Stewart, PAX International, www.pax International. There's a lot of information out there. Richard Lighthouse. I mean, this is evidence that I've given to the U.S. Supreme Court for them to understand that we Americans are being tortured. If they ignore that, then there is a problem in our country. That means our justice systems are corrupt. That means that they are not going to hear this case. And so that automatically tells American people that there is a problem with the justice system. And the only way to get into the justice system is by maybe some kind of criminal means. Because if the justice system is not hearing it in a civil matter, then you have to commit some other matter to be heard. And that's what I'm trying to say. They're almost coercing you to act other than normal, folks, when you're being tortured and stalked. You don't want to live like this. You'd rather be free of being tortured and just live your normal life. You don't want to be stalked and watched and monitored. You don't want them to know what the hell you're thinking or doing. I mean, it's insane, folks. And they're trying to implant more Americans. Bill Gates, man, it's a conspiracy with him, man. They're trying to track Americans. It ain't going to work, Mr. Bill Gates. Mr. Bill Gates, to you, Mr. Bill Gates and the FBI, are you guys idiots? We have a Constitution that protects Americans from freedom. And just like the veterans of the Tuskegee experiment, when you injected them with syphilis, we are the same thing, have the same benefits of the Constitution. We're protected. And just like the veterans in Vietnam with Ancient Orange, Dow Chemicals, who created the chemicals to spray in the fields, or the veterans out in the fields, we are protected by a Constitution. You can't just use this as an experiment. You can't use veterans and people as an experiment and expect to get away with it in this country, folks. We have a Constitution. And if we don't stand up for our freedoms and rights, if we don't stand up for the protection of the Constitution, then there's no justice. They're going to keep on abusing people. They're going to keep on stomping on people, and it's not fair, folks. Okay? I want to end with this. God bless America. God bless the people, and God bless our Constitution. Without a Constitution, we're just inhumane people with no regulation. You might as well get rid of the police officers, get rid of the lawyers, get rid of the judges, and get rid of the courtrooms, because there's no use for that. If we have martial law, they're gonna just kill anybody with satellite weapons. I mean, what the hell? You know? And the sad thing about it is that, folks, if the Second Amendment was created for you to protect yourself, it was meant to protect yourself. But how do you go buy a satellite weapon at a gun store, launch it from your house straight up above the sky, and expect to defend yourself if it's against the law? You have to launch these rockets and these satellites from a government launching pad, Cape Canaveral, those places like that. And it's monitored by NORAD and by the other space, NASA. You can't do that. You can't protect yourself. There's no way out of the satellite weapons and tracking devices that they're using against you. You have no defense, folks. The only defense you have is to fight with or argue with the people that are responsible, which is going to be the FBI. They're responsible for investigating this crime, folks. So and if you can't defend yourself, then who's gonna defend yourself, folks? Who's gonna defend yourself? Stay vigilant, folks. I mean, this thing's gonna end some point in time. I mean, it's a virus. Your body has a camera built in your body, and what happens when people get the flu or sick, you establish a photographic memory of that virus, and when it comes back in your body, it destroys it. Okay, we can't be suffocated in our homes for too long, folks. These people are idiots. Okay, and just like every flu, every season, you go out and still work and everything. It's the same concept. This flu ain't that deadly, folks. Okay, the point I'm trying to say is that we're not only being scared by a pandemic, we're being tortured by satellite weapons, causing symptoms of a coronavirus, okay? And that's what they're attacking. They're attacking you to make it look like you need to go to the hospital or that you are sick. No, it's not, because they're attacking you, creating the symptoms, and you think automatically that you're sick, okay? Folks, automatically, if you break a fever, what do you take? You crack open a Tylenol, okay? I mean, it's an antipyretic, folks. You want to get those things in your system immediately and hydrate yourself. When you break a sweat, you broke the fever, you broke the infection. But be vigilant, stay healthy, drink a lot of water, drink 2 liters of water a day, a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruits. Make sure you take your vital signs, your blood pressure, and your temperature, because that's vital, folks. And without that, they're going to stalk you and they're going to kill you. Okay? Thank you. God bless, and God bless America.